I saw this the other day, and there's been a lot of talk, and I think the next few stories are all going to kind of run together. So if you guys are thinking about bowing out, stay with us a little bit longer because they do directly tie in and they actually directly affect you as a dude. There's been a lot of talk about men in general and kind of the feminization and the lack of masculinity when it comes to men. And a lot of times video games are at the brunt of the argument. They say, oh, look at these idiots playing video games. Oh, video games. All guys want to do is play video games. I saw this clip. Now, this is from a pastor of all places, where he's on stage preaching to his congregation about why he likes video games. I just want to watch the first half because I think there's a lot of really profound things that he says in this that I think a lot of men can really relate to. So let's go pull that up really quick, Blabs, and see what we got here. Go ahead, Phoenix.
You know why men love playing video?
Yeah, go and let it play.
Video games, though? Because I love going where I'm celebrated, not where I'm tolerated. And when I do good on the game, I get an unlocked screen, I get achievements, I get leveled up, I'm the man in the game. So I'm gonna go here. At my job, I go to my job, I'm not good enough. Every time my wife asks me to do something, it's not good enough. I check on my friends, it's not good enough. So I'm gonna go to the one place that every single, I'm celebrated here. And I know men aren't perfect. I know I should find.
That's good. But I thought the premise of this, I think a lot of guys can really relate to this idea of like, you know, over the past 5 years, we've been told all of society's problems stem from men. Men, it's your problem. So they're constantly getting beaten down. And which is why you see this younger generation who is like the 20-somethings right now. They've been told since they've been 15, 16 years old when they were in high school that they're the problem, right? And to a larger extent, this guy's obviously a little bit older. He's telling, I think, how a lot of people feel about this. I look in the chat and they're saying he's spitting facts. You know, this kind of hits 100% truth. Video games saved my life. And I think this is very relatable to a lot of men. I don't know, Phoenix, first, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this as far as the idea of when you're in a game, you're a part of the game. It's escapism. You are accepted. It's okay to have achievements that you don't necessarily have IRL.
Yeah, this doesn't apply to me because I'm celebrated everywhere I go, all the time, 24 hours a day. No, I actually, believe it or not, like I've heard this sentiment many, many times, even from my friends who have big families that are working 2 jobs. And they've said on many occasions that video games is the only place where they actually feel like they're getting somewhere in life and that they're applauded for what their achievements are. Like I've heard this several times before, and it's really sad. It's really, really sad. And I'm surprised a lot of times in these situations that in their cases, their wives are kind of not giving them that support that they need, because it's a good family, but it's just a reoccurring theme. Men typically don't get applauded for much.
Gigi, you're married.
Yeah.
Your husband is literally playing behind you.
Oh, that's not my husband.
oh, sorry.
It's okay. It's just a friend. It's okay.
Okay. Well, are you married?
I am. I'm married to Gamer's Error.
Okay. So
did we catch an awkward moment? Is your friend? Oh, I'm sorry.
It's like the Coldplay meme all over again.
Let's go.
I can close those doors
here for GG. No, but you know, I'll open it up to the ladies, right? Just video games and men, they've both been demonized over the last little bit. All right, Des, you're married, obviously. I don't know what are your thoughts on what that guy was saying as far as feeling accepted?
Well, I think that humans want to feel very validated and needed, and especially in a marriage, it goes both ways. I think women want to feel that, men want to feel that. I think it's important to always show that to your spouse. I feel like I do have a lot of friends where I see unhappy marriages, and a lot of times it is. I feel for the guys. So I think there is. I don't know if it's women seemed unappreciated for maybe their things that they were doing as mothers and keeping the household running for so long, and then like the pendulum, just has swung, and but like really you just have to have balance. Like isn't that hard? Honestly, I think I'm good at this. I think I'm very good at like telling people why they matter and why why you should appreciate them. I don't think it's that hard. I wish people just be better. Be better.
I don't know, Mally, you have any thoughts on this and what the preacher was saying there?
Yeah, no, I really agree with what Desiree was saying. I feel like I also relate, and I have several just kind of people in my circles and my acquaintances' life that I unfortunately do also feel for the guys, because it seems as though like, and I know I'm a culprit of this too. I'm not going to just void myself of it. I think we're human. We all slip into it. There's this like level of complacency maybe that everybody gets to where, the things that you were once appreciative of, you become expectant of. And that can really start to take a toll on the relationship. And so kind of like Desiree was saying, is like, if she wasn't being appreciated enough, pendulum is going to swing. She's not going to make him feel appreciated enough. So it is a balance. You need both. And, I feel like I have also known people who heavily depend on video games to just keep them going each day. Like that is the only reason they're not completely depressed. And I think this connects to that heavily because there's just not enough support in real life from the people around you giving you that celebration that you need to keep going in the real world.
I think like escapism, we all appreciate escapism at times, but the danger with escapism is sometimes you don't address the actual problems, and you can just be too long in that land of escapism instead of like maybe having a serious conversation with your spouse, or or looking at a different job if you don't feel fulfilled there, or whatnot. But that's a scary thing to do, and so I feel like if anyone's in that situation, that like it's great to have your ways where you can escape, but you don't want that to be your life. You can't. You still have control over your own life and your decisions.
100%.
What about you, chat? Like, have you guys ever? I mean, it's a lot of people feel that video hit with them, and that's kind of why I wanted to bring it up. Get your thoughts on this. Do you guys ever feel like video games is the only place that you can turn? I think that's also why people enjoy sports. It's an escape. It gives you something to root for and cheer and give high fives and have a little bit of masculinity and testosterone. When the guy dunks the ball or scores the touchdown, you feel together, and that's the same type of thing as when you get down and when you're playing Call of Duty, when you're playing, whatever with your bros, gives you that escape, the opportunity to be successful, the opportunity to win or lose and get laughed at or whatever it may be. And I think that's why games are so important. And that's something that I think it's really, I don't know, it gets pushed under the rug a lot oftentimes when it comes to the conversation about like why games are important. So
it can be a very healthy outlet. But like anything, if you do it too much, it can actually harm you more than help you. So and where that lies is different for each person.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think all you have to do is, if you have not complimented your boyfriend, your husband in a long time, and you don't want to ever do it again, just do this one sentence. You're covered for probably a decade. Just say, "Boy, howdy, you have the biggest dick I've ever seen," and you are covered for a decade. Even if it's micro, just lie.
Real quick. Sorry, Phoenix, we do Blabs over here taking notes. You look like she was taking
I just time coded that. I just time coded 1 hour 23:18.
Yeah, if you guys would please clip that and go ahead whenever somebody goes
Phoenix
online
and dicks.
Yeah, whenever somebody goes online on like X or something and post like a gameplay clip or maybe just revving their engine or something, feel free to take that clip and let's make that a meme of Phoenix saying, "Boy, howdy, your dick is so big." That will probably be clipped as well with the nice Rumble logo in the background.
You're welcome.
Nice. All right, let's go and move on, because while men may feel good about things, this next story is about how women, according to a study, are experiencing guilt while playing video games. This is a very important study, Blabs, that you discovered. And,
actually, I can't take the credit for this one. This was Melee K who sent this to me yesterday saying, look at this. So it wasn't me. It was actually K who sent it. So thank you, K.
K.
We love K.
Big ups. Thank you very much. Always a great part of the show. But let's go and get to this very important, riveting story about, we have all these women here. It says women experience guilt, shame, and exclusion in gaming, study finds. But if you read the little text in there, what exactly does that say, Blabs?
It says researchers surveyed 1,000 women of all ages across the UK who play mobile games.
Yes. So
mobile games. And the best part about this, and I can't take credit because I thought it was so funny, but this person says she's really dedicated using a controller to play Candy Crush and House Decoration Simulator.
For real.
There is something to that. Okay, hey, question for Mally, GG. Do y'all feel that mobile games are quote unquote video games, like real video games?
No. I'm sorry.
Okay. I feel like there are two sides to this. I feel like as an art, like, yeah, because you designed and programmed an animated visual playable thing. Yes, it's a game. Like, you know what I mean? Would I call the people that do them gamers? No, because I feel like that is just grown up iPad babies. And they're not really actually like, you got to sit in front of a PC or with a controller and fucking hash it out on the same level for hours before you can call yourself a gamer. And it's not a mobile game. It's not going to bring you that.
It's like a subcategory. You have to specify mobile gamer, mobile gaming. You have to say mobile. You have to, because they're not the same whatsoever.
No.
People are like, oh, mobile games aren't video games. I mean, well, actually they are. You just have to, it's a subcategory. You can't just be generic and general about it. So
no, because you don't picture a kid with their phone in their face when you say gamer. I knew a kid in school who was legally blind, and he would hold his iPad to his face like this play like that square Geometry Dash. He would play Geometry Dash, and he would literally have to look at the screen like that because he was legally blind. So that's not what I think of when I hear the word gamer.
And that's not the way it's portrayed online either, right? When you or any sort of mainstream news narrative, like if NBC, CBS, Fox News, whatever, was going to do a story about, these video games, they're bad for you, it would all be about Call of Duty. It would all be like, go down the line, right? But when you look at what the ESRB says about gamers, they say that 50% of video gamers are women. We all know that stat is bullshit. I've talked about that on the show many times. I think that is probably closer to 80% are men that play the traditional hardcore console PC games, with it being the inverse from the mobile perspective of like 80% of women are playing the mobile games, and that's how you get your 50%. But that's the problem, is that's not how games are portrayed by the mass media. And otherwise, when you look up like gamer online and you look for a generic image of it, it's never a girl. It's always a guy. And it's, I don't know, it's amazing. But I think it is important to kind of dig into this statistics over here, Blabs. Do you have the actual study pulled up so we can dig into what exactly they found?
Yeah, the entire article, I have it.
Yeah, let's go and read through some of that so we can get some full context.
Okay, so here it is. All right, so they surveyed 1,000 women of all ages across the UK, and down here it says significant numbers. It says, for example,
by the way, it does point out, it says UK who play mobile games, the most popular way for women to play.
Yep.
Right? Something we all know, right there at the top, right there. Yes. Sorry, go ahead, continue, please.
Where was that? I don't even remember. Oh, yeah. So, for example, younger players are more likely to feel guilty about playing video games, with those aged 16 to 24 being 3 times more likely to strongly agree that they feel guilty about taking time to play than those aged 55 and up. I guess the 55 and up just don't give a fuck anymore then.
They're the ones with Candy Crush.
Yeah, that's true. Zoom in for you guys.
Okay, hold on. At the top, it says the study shows many women feel excluded from video game culture, with significant numbers of women feeling guilty about playing video games. Well, what's wrong with that? I mean that like if I was to go to a cooking class that 8 out of 10 people in are women, like, or whatever, pick whatever stereotypical woman activity it is. If I was to feel excluded from that culture that is traditionally a female oriented thing. What's the issue with that? I don't feel like there's any issue with that at all. Am I off on this? I feel like we've talked about this before. There are traditional male spaces and there are traditional female spaces, and there's nothing wrong with that. So yes, I would feel excluded. And you know what? Probably okay. That's fine. I don't know. How do y'all feel about that?
There's nothing wrong with like a majority being men. And I don't know why we should take it personally as women that we're the minority. Because most of the time, let's just be honest here, most of the time when we're playing with other people, they're usually friendly. We're not the target audience. And honestly, most of the games that I see, I don't want them to completely cater to me as a woman, because then I won't play them. Maybe I went too far off on that, but I like
you can never
gore.
go too far. Keep going. Keep
I
going.
like
You can
gore.
never go too far.
I prefer gore, and honestly, I don't want to play a cooking game because I'm cooking 3 times a day, sometimes 4. I'm cooking 3 square meals. I just want to veg out, maybe, drop kick some zombies. Doesn't sound what is it called? I lost my momentum. I do that sometimes.
GG question. Do you make sandwiches?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right. And the entire chat is upset that you are actually married. All right. Thank you. Mally, do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, no. I really agree with what Gigi said of just like, there is no such thing as like being excluded or left out of it. Like being uncomfortable is healthy for you. I don't know how many people hear that in their life, but I think it needs to be said a lot more. Being uncomfortable is healthy. It challenges you to try new things. You're not being hurt. You can monitor yourself. Uncomfortable is not pain. That is just different, and that's why you're uncomfortable. And so putting yourself in a space with primarily men or women when that's not what you're used to is good for you. And I think, a majority of my team is men, and that's just because that's the atmosphere that I'm in, but they have always supported me and made sure that I had everything I have. So it's about the energy that you bring to the table. And if you're just trying to have a good time, so are they.
Des, you were kind of shaking your head.
I think that's absolutely spot on. That was great. Yeah, you can't have growth without stepping out of your comfort zone. But I was really interested in the guilt aspect of that. And I was just thinking, like, I would imagine the guilt must come from it just being a mobile game, because you probably, you're doing it out.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of like maybe setting aside a time, like, in your day where you're in front of a TV and gaming, I think like the temptation to probably over game must be there a lot on mobile. And so maybe that guilt is actually something you should be feeling. Like maybe it is taking you away from being present during your life.
Well, so there's actually a lot in this article here. This is Dr. Sean Roberts, who researches gaming at Cardiff University. By the way, nice gig. Said, when I ask people if they play video games, women often say no. But if I ask about playing video games on mobile, many of them suddenly say yes. It's like they have an idea of what a real gamer is in their heads, and they don't feel like they meet that ideal. Well, it's because they don't, because they're not.
That's so stupid.
Like,
Who cares?
I there's a reason why they probably feel guilt in this situation, because they realize that while they are playing video games, they're not a traditional gamer. They're not. So,
well, I guess I was just confused over like, what are they feeling guilty over? Like, do they address that at all?
Well, it says 16% keep gaming a secret from friends or family for fear of judgment from their family.
I don't know about anybody personally who's afraid of being judged for what games they play. I do know people that maybe would be afraid to be judged for like wasting their time, much like Desiree said.
Yes.
Like, it's very accessible. I know women typically probably have, because they aren't as many gamers or as much of gamers, maybe they have more day-to-day responsibilities. I know I feel guilty if I'm sitting in here on my computer when I know I should be cleaning the house or some shit, you know what I mean? So maybe it's that like self-imposed guilt of like, I
Mhm.
shouldn't be wasting my time on this. But yeah.
Obey YouTube. Watch this video. It's suggested for you.